any music today can be called sacred. If you're a Protestant, maybe you're going to be surprised by the things that we're going to talk about in this video, but if you're Catholic, you must know those laws. If you're a musician, you must know them for sure. If you do not, you must read those documents that I'm going to quote and read them through the lens of tradition, through the lens of the belief of St. Pope Pius X, Pius XI, Pius XII, etc. So let's go. Let's talk about it. So the laws of the sacred music in the church, they are three, but we can also consider four if we analyze it in a different way. So the first one that St. Pope Pius X talks about is that sacred music must be true art. So what is true art? It's that art that has harmony in it, that represents beauty, that has truth in it, good in it, and that is really beautiful in its forms, right? So there are art that is not that lacks truth and lacks good. For example, those pagan arts of the Renaissance, those arts like the how do we call it? Botticelli, some of the works of Botticelli, Leonardo da Vinci also. Those artists, although they have some interesting paintings and stuff, they also have some problematic stuff, right? So some stuff that they did lacked truth and good, because it lacked really the truth. It represented, for example, pagan themes, and those are not truths, right? And not for good of the man. It was really to make people walks towards noses, for example. So it must be true art, okay? Like that ones of Frangelico, which is a really master in paintings and stuff. So it must be true art, right? When we're talking about music, we're talking about Tommaso di Victoria, Palestrina, the monks that composed the Gregorian chants. It must be holy, and that's something that we must understand, because St. Pope Pius X says that music cannot receive anything from the secular, from the profane, right? Profane is not demonic. Profane is just those things that does not relate to the temple of God. So the ways of chanting, for example, the expressions and the ornaments that we use that are secular must not be used for Gregorian chant. Must not be used for sacred chant in general. And those secular elements are not fitted for the sacred temple. And that's something also that he says. It's a Pope saying, and at the end of his document, he says that that's not his word. He's just exposing the words of tradition. And that's something we must understand. It's not just a legalism, right? His words are the words of the Catholic tradition in what relates to music. The Gregorian chant, the sacred chant, must also be delicate in its forms, from which derives universality. So the delicacy of the chant, of the forms, means in one of the meanings of it is that it must incline the soul in the most perfect way according to the text. So the text represents something. It must be read with a certain spirit, and that spirit must be present in the form of the chant that is chanting that sacred text, right? And that's why the universality derives from it. Because if everyone understands the text with the same sensus, with the same sensibility, if they incline themselves to the text the same way, not by some personal experience, but by an external worship that is Gregorian chant, that conducts to an internal worship, then the faithful is united in communion with the church and with themselves, because they are all inclined in the same way, according to the same tradition as their their past generations, right? So those are the 3 to 4, right? The delicacy of forms, from that derives universality. So it's kind of one, okay? So those are the 4 aspects that constructs sacred music, and almost sacred music: Gregorian chant, polyphony, and those that are composed following the manners and the ways of those two. Those chants must follow those laws, right? If you want to learn more about that, contact me. Here in the description you'll find the link. The documents that you can read are Tra le sollecitudini from St. Pope Pius X, Divini Cultus Sanctitatem from Pope Pius XI, and Musicae Sacra Disciplina from Pope Pius XII, right? See you.